Hey team, so today's topic is I want to go over is, in terms of long runs, should my long runs be at marathon pace? Okay. Definitely your long runs should not be that at that pace early on in your buildup. Okay. Definitely a longer buildup, minimum 12 weeks out to around 24 weeks. If you're going 20 to 24 weeks, you are setting yourself up for success. Okay. Because again, it takes around 21 days to 4 weeks for your body to adapt to any stress load you're placing on it. So you do not want to try to rush your fitness in a matter of like 8 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. If you're training for a 10 miler, a 5K, 10K, especially if you're trying to run an all out effort, you're going after a specific time, a longer buildup is always best. But in the early stages of your buildup, preferably in the first 4 to 6 weeks, you really should just be focusing on relaxed, easy running for those long runs. Okay, I am a big believer that faster, varied pace long runs is a better strategy every other week. But do not start doing that type of tactic until you first built a large aerobic base, a foundational mileage before you do that, because you have to strengthen the muscles and the tendons of the body first before you start working the faster anaerobic workouts, training at higher intensities, training at your lactate threshold, training at your VO2 max. For new viewers, when you're training at your anaerobic threshold, also known as your lactate threshold effort, that's the effort we run at when we're running at tempo effort. So around 85 to around close to 90% of your maximum heart rate. VO2 max effort is when you're doing any type of track workout, when you're doing very hard fartlek workouts, where you're running closer to 95 to 100% of your maximum heart rate. That is VO2 max. That's your body's maximum oxygen uptake. It's running at paces that are so aggressive that your body cannot clear lactic acid faster than it's building up. So naturally, we have to slow down and stop, take a break for a few minutes or a few seconds, and preferably wait until your heart rate is back down to around 110 to 120 beats per minute before you start the next interval. Okay. The key thing in with VO2 max training and with anaerobic workouts is definitely you're going to start seeing a difference in how your race pace feels. It's going to eventually feel much easier versus when you first started training and your paces per mile or paces per kilometer were much slower and it was much more difficult, and you were not also able to sustain a fast pace for very long. But it's a beautiful thing when the body adapts to the hard training we do, and we train properly. We allow plenty of time to recover in between each workout that we do, giving ourselves preferably 48 hours of recovery between each hard workout, whether that's a tempo run or a track workout. But should my long runs be at marathon pace? You start thinking about that in around the midsection to the later stages of a marathon buildup. Okay. It's the same type of philosophy and strategy I used when I first started running marathons in 2002, all the way out to 2018 when I retired from competitive running. It helped me go from 243 for the marathon to 219 for the marathon. Okay, so to make a jump from running 614 mile pace for 26.2 miles to 519 mile pace, you have to make. I mean, that's a significant jump in ability level. And what I did was and if you're a regular viewer, you're going to know I teach varied pace long runs. Okay. What I mean by that is you're going to be running, in terms of long run effort, you're going to run a portion of your long run at marathon pace. There's going to be a small portion of that long run at around 5K to 10K race pace. So again, you're running much, much faster than your goal marathon race pace. There's going to be sections of that long run, and it might be just a mile or two, and not in consecutive miles, but it might be the first, right when you hit the fourth mile, you drop a mile at your 3K to 5K race pace. So preferably around 3K race pace, very, very fast. And then maybe mile 12, you drop another mile at 3K race pace. So again, when you're doing those types of long runs, and this worked for me, and it's worked for other RunDreamAchieve athletes, the ones that start changing up, doing their long runs, not just running long, slow, and easy every single weekend. I think we get into that trap where we focus on our tempo runs, we focus on our track workouts, but every time we do our long runs, it's always long, slow, and easy. Okay. There is a place for that too. Okay. You still need to run long, slow, and easy. In the early stages, when you're building up your aerobic base, that's when you do it. And then once you become very fit, and I focus on this with the running courses I teach and with the training plans I've created, I don't just jump I just don't have the athlete the first week start doing fast, varied pace long runs. Okay, it's not until you've built that strong foundation of mileage first. But I think you do that and alternate it, run an easy long run one weekend, and then the next weekend do a varied pace long runs. It can also be a steady state long run where it's just one steady effort. It could be a portion of that steady state long run should be at marathon race pace. Okay. And that might be one weekend. Okay. A couple weeks down the line, it might be a long run where you're doing, say it's like a 20 miler. Okay. And you do first 2 miles easy, 5 miles at 20 seconds slower than marathon race pace, maybe 2 miles easy, 2 to 3 miles easy, then another 5 miles. And that should be done at around 10 seconds slower than marathon race pace. 2 to 3 miles easy, drop a sub, maybe if you're aiming for a 2:36 marathon and you're trying to run 6-minute mile pace, drop a mile at 5:20 right there, and then go easy for a couple miles, then maybe 2 to 3 miles at 10 seconds faster than marathon race pace. So again, it's a mixture of paces, mixture of intensities, and it's, again, you're not running slow and easy every single weekend, okay? As I talk about Sebastian Coe, he said a brilliant quote. He said, "I've always believed long, slow distance running creates long, slow distance runners." Okay, and obviously everybody's got their own goals, okay? Not everybody wants to be a professional athlete. Not everybody's going out there wanting to, have a set goal time they want to run. There's some athletes out there that just want to enjoy the sport. They want to go out and run their first marathon. They want to start and finish a marathon. Maybe they're out there trying to lose weight. They just want to go out there and have fun, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's a huge accomplishment just to start and finish a marathon anyways. But there's a lot of athletes, a large percentage of athletes that watch my videos that are really gung-ho about specific times and trying to hit specific splits. And I understand that because, that's how I was from the very beginning. When I first started running in 1992, I just got the itch for it. Fortunately, my brother talked me into running. He threw shot put and discus in high school and also in college. And if it wasn't for my brother, I definitely would never have gotten into the sport of middle to long distance running. I just found a love for it, as I know you all have as well. And my particular goals was to eventually make the Olympic team. I never quite had that type of talent level, but I wanted to chase it. And I did earn a 2008 USA Track and Field Olympic Trials ace standard time in the marathon. So for me, it was like making the marathon team for the United States of America, but we all have different goals. So in terms of as you're setting up your training, in terms of your long runs, just be thinking about how can I get my goal race pace to feel easier? And you have to get outside of your comfort zone. And there's going to be times where you're not going to have anybody to hold you accountable. And what's going to hold you accountable is that motivation to get out the door, regardless of what the conditions are like, regardless if it's snowing, if it's raining, if it's super windy, if it's super hot out. You make adjustments along the way, okay? The conditions aren't always going to be perfect. So if they're not perfect and you know that you're not going to get a huge physiological boost by going out and running on ice, or if it's 100 degrees out, then take a step back and think, okay, I know other options Nate's mentioned on this channel. Okay, pool running. Get in the deep end of the pool. Let the water resistance force you out of your comfort zone. Get on a treadmill. Don't just always run on a treadmill with 0% incline. Okay, put the incline on 1%. There's a drastic difference between 1% and having no incline on the treadmill. Okay, so don't think you're doing any less of a workout, especially if you're trying to do a long run on a treadmill or on a long run in the deep end of a pool. Okay, pool running, again, with that water resistance, if you're not wearing a flotation device, it's extremely difficult to do that type of workout. And it's difficult too, even if you're wearing a flotation device, to run 2 to 3 hours in the pool, okay, or even an hour in the pool for a long run. But yes, should those athletes out there that are asking, should my long runs be at marathon pace? once you've first built a strong foundation of aerobic mileage, yes, it's okay to do your long runs, portions of it, not the entire long run at marathon pace, because you have to think about adaptation, and you don't just jump into doing 20-mile long runs. You got to first start off doing a long run. Maybe for some athletes that might be 4 or 5 miles. It might be 7 to 8 for others. It might be 14 to 16 miles for others. It might be 32 kilometers. For other athletes that aren't here in the United States of America that are more on kilometers. So be thinking about these things in terms of your long runs. I hope this answers the question of should my long runs be at marathon pace, and also some of the tactics that somebody that's run 2:19 for the marathon, what he was doing. Okay, I hope you can take the things, that strategy and tactics that I teach in these videos, and also in my running courses and training plans. I hope they are helpful for all of you out there, whether you're a beginner or you are an advanced elite athlete. So feel free to leave me a comment below, like and share this video. I will definitely reach back out to you if you leave a comment. Let me know how your training is going too. Keep me posted, keep me updated. Appreciate you all definitely reaching out and let me know, because I get a lot of comments that the athletes out there that are training for their events leave me comments on not only how it's going, or they ask questions about how can I get to the next level and what are some other strategies I can use. So I will definitely respond to you. So I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you in the next video.